Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Don't chase a dollar in retirement. By this, I mean just don't worry about that extra quarter percent interest, or maybe you made 5% interest on your money this year instead of 7%, or you knocking around trying to cut back to where it hurts so you can make out and everything. There ain't no way to spend no retirement. You've busted your hump, done without, saved the best you can, invested the best you could for the past 4 or 5 decades, man. You shouldn't have to do that in retirement. If you want to, if you choose to live that way, which I can't understand personally, hey, knock yourself out, dog. But just because you see somebody that's retired spending bare minimum, there's no reason for you to go out and try to do the same thing. Spend enough to make your life happy and comfortable. You worked all your life to get there, Doc. Enjoy it. Hey, you don't have to spend to enjoy it, but I mean, don't be afraid to spend an extra dollar. You know, retirement is all about your expenses and judicious spending. And that's a big word for me. But you know, years ago when I had a daggone in-ground garden over here, I kept having to rent a tiller or borrow somebody's tiller. The first couple of years I had it, and finally I said I'm gonna go ahead and break down and get me a tiller. So I bought me one. I don't remember how much it was. Let's say $200. I don't know. It was a Toro, one of them. No, not Toro, Troy built ones with the front tines on it. Is that what it is? Yeah. No, the rear tines. Yeah, it's got the rear tines on it. Haven't used it in a few years, but and the one right next to it was $100 more. I don't know. I think it was, and but I went with the cheaper one. It didn't have a reverse. The one beside it, it cost more, had a reverse on it. And it was fine for a couple of years. And after I was kept using it, I realized, I should have spent that extra dollar, you know. But I wasn't chasing the dollar, but I was chasing the savings, you know. Sometimes the the best thing for you to spend your money on costs a little bit more than the cheapest thing. You know what I mean? The cheapest is not always best for you, depending on you and your situation, what you like. You know what I mean? Uh, Don't chase that save. Don't chase that extra quarter percent interest. You know, it's not worth it. You know, and what got me thinking of this was there was I got a comment on my video before the cowbell one about your free time and your time. That's what it was about. Uh, and it was a fantastic comment. I can't remember right offhand who wrote it, but it was a fantastic comment. It got me to thinking. It got me emotional. It really did. You know, because I was chasing a dollar uh, when I was working overtime. Always had something knock around job somewhere, part time, or doing yard work or hauling or whatever. Always did. I was the only one working, and I felt it was my responsibility to bring in the money when once we had kids. And so, I mean, anytime to make an extra dollar come up, I was on it. And that's the same way for me now. And as far as lending a hand to somebody, will I get paid for it or not is not the issue. It's that it's something I enjoy doing. I get a kick out of knocking around, just knocking around. I just do, and helping somebody makes you feel good, you know. And I learned something. And it's just enjoyable to me, but I got to be careful not to overdo it. Just like at overtime and chasing a dollar, I had to be careful not to overdo that. I tell you what, this is the first thought that come to my mind when I read that comment, and that's why it touched me so much. Because I was getting ready to leave work on, I don't know what day it was, but I was on 412. And at the time, my daughter was just crawling. She wasn't a toddler yet. She was still crawling on the floor. Well, she seen me head towards that door to go out, and she started crying right there on the floor. And right then, I said, no. I said, I'll never chase it again. In retirement or out, I'll never chase it again. I'm not worried about 0.5% of interest or making a percent less this year than I made last year. If I can just get a little bit more than I had at the beginning of the year, that's all I'm looking for. And in retirement, I'm just looking to maintain. I'm looking to maintain and keep an eye on my expenses. That's all I'm doing. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be no fun to line item every daggone thing and check it every 3 months. No, I'd stay at work if I had to do that. I was fortunate enough to retire with just a few dollars. I don't have a 7 figures in the bank nowhere. It's easy for me to keep an eye on and uh, to figure on. I can do all my work on a piece of paper and a pencil. But now I double check and triple check a lot of it, all of it, health insurance and taxes and all that stuff. And I'm on a good track, so I'm going to stay the course unless I have a reason to change. I'm not going to be chasing a buck, whether I'm saving a buck or whether I'm uh, making one in retirement. To me, that's just no way to worry about retirement, to go through retirement. It just isn't. But that's what this whole triad had come off of, that one comment. You believe that? That's how much it affected me. That was great. It really was. But I'd originally planned on talking about problems I've had in retirement so far. But I'd be honest with you, I couldn't come up with any. I come up with three, but they're specific to me. So it wouldn't give nobody any help. And the good thing is they're gonna automatically fix themselves, so I ain't got to do nothing about it. But thankfully, me and the baby are comfortable. We're settled in our retirement lifestyle. We're happy with the life we're building in retirement. We've come across no hurdles or barriers that we couldn't get around or step over. Nothing out of the ordinary. We're living pretty much now just like we did before I retired. But just be careful not to make yourself miserable chasing a dollar or chasing a dollar in savings. You know, that 1/4% interest thing will make no difference when you're 90. In my mind, hey man, I'm a simple fellow. It's the way I break it down in the simplest terms ever. And it's the way I have to do it in order to see things. Well, y'all take care. Make it a beautiful weekend. I plan on it. And we'll talk to y'all later.